You got the endorsement from former President Trump. Tell me about how that came about and how important is that for you?
You know, that is so critical and important here in Alaska because we've never had a president do so much for our state than President Trump. His policies were excellent for us. We've worked 6 decades to open up exploration and drilling in Anwar, which is our North Slope oil production area. And it was only with President Trump that we were able to do that. Of course, on day one of the Biden administration, thanks to Lisa Murkowski, they shut it all down.
Right.
But we are all aware, and I could go on, his support for the military, his support for timbering in the Tongass. We just had so much help with him for our economy and the people that we support here in Alaska. And so that's why he won our state twice by double digits. And having his endorsement is really critical in this election. Lisa Murkowski's never had to run for U.S. Senate following President Trump, and her true colors really came out where she got in the way of so many of his legislative priorities, so many of his nominees, and yet we see her standing by the radical Biden administration and its assault on Alaska in their nominees and in their priorities. I mean, just look at these 2 bills, these spending bills coming forward, and how we have to act today to protect tomorrow. We understand that with the environment. We conservatives understand that with respect to the economy, and the Biden administration has no regard for tomorrow, and Lisa's helping that. She's selling out our future, so our great-grandchildren tomorrow will be paying for government today. We don't like that here in Alaska. We don't have any way to pay for Lisa's popularity in Washington, D.C. because our entire economy is shut down. And so all of that's coming out in true colors, and Alaska's done with it. Joe, Republicans from moderates to conservatives, she only has a 6% approval rating, and we are a majority of Republicans in the state of Alaska. So Donald Trump's endorsement means a lot up here, and it's going to go a long way to winning this race.
It's Kelly Tshibaka. Go follow her, KELLYFORAK.com. That's her website. She's the Republican running for U.S. Senate against Lisa Murkowski, or for Lisa Murkowski's seat in 2022. I don't know that much about Alaska. I'm on 3 stations in Alaska, so we've got great coverage there, but I've never been. Obviously, it's far away from the contiguous United States, but I wonder if progressivism is making its way up there. I wonder if you're insulated from that. Fill me in if you don't mind. Are you seeing CRT show up in schools? Are you seeing BLM or Antifa? Are you hearing radical Green Deal idiots showing up in your state? Or are you insulated from all that right now?
So in Alaska, we are largely libertarian. No matter how we identify politically, we have just a really strong independent spirit and streak. And there's also a real culture and value of diversity and unity. We just always have been that way.
Yeah.
We love each other. We love our values. There are some school districts, especially here in Anchorage, the largest city, that are pushing CRT, but it is not uniformly popular. Anchorage is about a 50-50 split of people who lean to the right and people who lean to the left. And then there's a large section, of course, people in the middle. And so CRT is not widely embraced. It's partially embraced, and I'm not sure how much it's going to spread. And as of, for instance, you know, my family, we're mixed. I'm the only pale person in my family. I have 5 Black children and a Black husband. And my daughter wrote a really compelling address to the school board where she said, so what am I supposed to do? Sit on both sides of the classroom? I think that you've forgotten that our society doesn't divide into black and white anymore. Many of us are mixed. And this whole CRT, we call it cynical race theory in our home. It really overlooks a huge number of people in our culture who really embraced what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. It's about character and not color. And we've become a mixed race society. And we don't really fall into this narrative of oppressed and oppressor. And we really have decided that those are individual decisions, and we get to choose the story that we want to make. And there's parts of our story versus parts of our identity. And she wrote a really beautiful part of, this is my identity and you're not going to put it on me. And you're overlooking who I am. And I think that that's what we're going to see rise up here in Alaska, because that's who we are. We are a diverse and inclusive group of people.